let's talk about the Seiko 5 Sports. With the release of the latest 38mm edition, it has become one of the most talked about watches. Today, I have the Snoopy limited edition with me, and let's get into it. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome back to the channel. First of all, a huge shout out to my good friend Justin for lending me this watch. And spoiler alert, while I was making this video, I went out and bought a watch for myself. The Seiko 5 line has been one of the longest production lines from Seiko. The modern Seiko 5 Sports, the SRPD series, was launched in 2019, but it wasn't really welcomed by enthusiasts, as many looked at it as a replacement of the discontinued and very much loved SKX. As time passed by, some started to accept the fact that the SRPD is a watch of its own, a dive-inspired sports watch. This year, Seiko launched the SRPK series, which is essentially a smaller version of the Seiko 5 Sports, but definitely a bigger watch for Seiko. The watch I have in hand today is the SRPK 25, a collaboration between Peanuts and Seiko to celebrate the 55th anniversary of the Seiko 5 Sports. I'm pretty sure most of you have already seen an unboxing video of this watch, but first, let's still quickly go through the specs. It has a case diameter of 38mm, 44mm lug to lug, 12mm thick, and has lug width of 20mm. Water resistant is a 100m with a push-pull crown. It has the heartless mineral crystal with a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It's pretty stiff. Apply indices all filled with Lumibrite, which are bright and long-lasting as usual. And here is a quick loom shot. Inside is the caliber 4R36, which beats at 3Hz and has around 41 hours of power reserve. While featuring hacking and hand winding, accuracy is between -35 to +45 seconds per day, which is definitely not great, but in most cases, they do a better job than this range. Up to this point, this watch is pretty much similar if not identical to a regular SRPK, from case size to the movement inside. It comes in this rather fancier box, well fancier than what you usually get from other Seiko watches of this price point. With the comics of Peanuts printed on the inside, very nice detail here. And with that, we can move on to what makes this a limited special edition. First, at a glance, you can tell the font on the bezel is not your typical Seiko 5 font. They are the Shoals fonts of Peanuts. The crown is nicely designed with a little Snoopy paw print. On the dial you can see Snoopy getting ready to surf, and at the back you can see him surfing on the surfboard. Very neat and adorable indeed. I think Seiko has nailed it on this one, with all this little detail and keeping it in simple black and white format without overdoing it. So, what makes this SRPK line so important to Seiko? As I said earlier in the video, the discontinuation of the ISO-rated SKX and the release of the Seiko 5 Sports, the SRPD series, were in the same year. Given the fact that the SKX has such massive following, with a highly similar design but less dive capability, of course it was gonna stir up some controversy among enthusiasts. But now, the 38mm SRPKs, it is more distinct to potential customer or even the enthusiasts that it is not a professional dive watch, instead a dive-inspired sports watch. A more compact case size really put the watch on a more everyday lifestyle kind of end of the spectrum, which is more in line with the market trend right now, and truth be told, more relatable to our daily lives. A non-screw-down crown might be a pain to enthusiasts, but to a regular person who just wear the watches to the office or shopping mall, it is just less fussing about. Just pull the crown out, set the date and the time, and snap it back in and go, not having to worry about whether the crown is screwed in or even too tight. And with that said, the target customer of this watch is clearly not someone who is looking for a professional dive watch, which the modern Seiko 5 Sports series was never meant to be, but just happened that it was launched at I would say not the best timing. But now in 2023, Seiko has just done it at the best time, where cases are downsizing and yes, it's gonna sit comfortably on a lot more wrist. Just as we mentioned about that, I have a 7-inch wrist and this is how the watch look on me. I'm gonna let you be the judge on whether it look good on your wrist. There are so many opinions about what's the case size for a particular wrist, but my point is just wear what you like and you find comfortable. A watch could be told that it is best for your wrist size, but it might not be best for your taste. Watch collecting is about having fun. Don't let anyone ruin it. The biggest watch in my collection is the 46mm Big Pilot, and this is smaller than all of the watches in my collection. I never thought a 38 would suit me until I do this video, and turns out I quite like it on my wrist. I like it so much that I went out and buy this. The SRPK33. The Seiko 5 Sports is definitely a fun watch with some great dial colors to choose from, and I'm sure there will be more to come. Not gonna break the bank, but you still get to enjoy the fun of owning a mechanical watch with an open case back. Sounds like an awesome package to someone looking for their first mechanical watch. And yes, that's exactly the main target audience of this watch. Or if you are like me, who have already owned a few watches but just happen to try it on and turn out enjoying it, just go for it. It's not gonna hurt too much on your annual budget for watches. And at 38mm, this watch fits very well on my girlfriend's wrist, and we are both very happy that she can share my passion and hobby. And that's very important to keep the lady happy, gentlemen. Well, I guess that explains why the SRPK series is such an important line to Seiko. It is as appealing to a regular customer as watch enthusiasts. To me, the biggest concern is the accuracy even if they outperform the stated range. But at this price point, I wouldn't complain about it. I got it for less than $200. I'm just gonna use it as my weekend watch where a few minutes could be compromised for a fun and good looking watch to chill my boring life. And on that note, thanks for watching. Please like this video if you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel for more content to come. I'll catch you on the next one.